for our hinge, it's actually Kathy Orta's hidden hinge system with a bit of a twist that I've put on it because I don't like the flaps that stick down to the outside covers. So shout out to Kathy Orta for adapting this hinge system for use in our current mini album. So what I've done is started at 3/4 of an inch, scored at 3/4. Okay, so this is 10 1/4 inches wide, so we're setting the 10 1/4 inch side at the top, edge at the top, and we've got 8 inches, which is the height of our pages. So we're scoring at 3/4 of an inch and then over to 1 inch. So there we have our 1/4 inch gusset. And then all we're going to do is do the half quarter. I'm going to have 1/4 inch gussets in this album because there's so many flaps and things in there. I probably could have 3/8 of an inch, but I don't like my spines too big. So anyway, and it won't be embellished too much, I don't think. So I'm going to do the half quarter. So we've done 3/4 of an inch, 1 inch, 1 1/2, 2, 2 1/4, 2 3/4, 3 1/4, 3 1/2, 4, 4 1/2, 4 3/4, 5 1/4, 5 3/4, 6, 6 1/2, 7, 7 1/4, 7 3/4, 8 1/4, and 8 1/2. Okay, and that will give us enough hinges, 6 hinges that we're going to need for our 6 pages. Okay, now before I go folding and carrying on, I'm going to turn it over. So this is the side we scored on, right? So I'm going to flip it over. So we've still got our 3/4 inch section up here, and so I'm going to turn it around that way. So I've got the 3/4 of an inch section here, and I'm going to start applying tape to the first 1/2 inch section, and I'm going to apply it right next to the score line between the 1/2 and the 1/4 inch here. So I'm going to put it on the 1/2 inch section just before that score line there, and I'll show you where it is when I do it. Okay, so right, so if I grab this, and there we've got our first 3/4 inch score line, and then we go over to the inch score line there, and that's where we have our tape, and there's our 1/2 inch score line there. So this side and this side will be joined together with that tape. Okay, so I've done that, and then miss the next 1/2 inch, miss the 1/4 inch, and put the tape on the next 1/2 inch right next to that score line. And I'll just show you that once more. So there's our 3/4 of an inch score line there. Then we've got our 1/4 inch gusset, and then we've got the 1/2 inch and the 1/2 inch. So we've got one piece of tape to each 2 1/2 inch scored sections. There's our 1/4 inch gusset there, and then we've got this on the next 1/2 inch, and it's going to be joined to that 1/2 inch, and then we're going to skip that 1/4 inch gusset there, and we're going to put the tape on the next 1/2 inch. Okay, so we're basically going to apply the tape to every other 1/2 inch scored section. miss 1/2 inch and then put it on the next one. Miss the next 1/2 inch and put it in the next 1/2 inch. Okay, so we should have 6 pieces of tape, six strips of tape. So at the end, we're going to have that big long section there. We're going to have the 1/4 inch gusset, the 1/2 inch scored area, and that's the next 1/2 inch scored area, and that's our last piece of tape for that, okay? Burnish that tape really well. This is what's going to hold it all together, or hold the hinges. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove the tape backing from that first piece there. I'm going to the next score line after that bit of tape, the one where it's going to join together, I'm just sort of fold it over like that. Okay, so it's folded over like that. Okay, then I'm going to bring it back and fold it down. So I've got the 1/4 inch gusset still sitting there, plus the 3/4 inch section. Okay, so that's what I've got there so far. Okay, right. So then we're going to remove the tape backing from the next section and then fold it over onto that next 1/2 inch section, bring it back like that. Now we've got 2 flaps done. Okay, that's what you're going to see there. Alright, and continue doing that to the end. Alright, so that's what we've got there. Got all our flaps there. Now what I need to do now is just fold those flaps over the other way. So what we do is training them, because they're pages. They're going to flip backwards and forwards. So we really need to reinforce and loosen that there, so that just reinforce those score lines both ways. Okay, so that they turn easily. Now the more you do this, the easier they will turn for you. So we're keeping that 1/4 inch gusset in between each of the hinges. Last one there, and then they should be nice and agile. Okay, so then we've got that. This 3/4 inch section, we're going to score it on. We're going to fold it on that first score line like that over. Okay, because that's going to sit underneath. Okay, under there like that. And this long piece, I'm going to score it at that last 1/4 inch mark. score it over, and it's going to sit under there and join to it like that. So we'll end up with a one complete piece there. Okay. Right, so we need to apply some tape. I'm going to put tape all over the back of that 3/4 inch section there, and then I'm going to put tape all over the back of that one there. So that's the upper side, the side with the flaps. On the underside is where we're going to put the tape, and I'm going to cover those areas completely. And so, and Kathy suggests, and I agree, that you put the tape across the top and the bottom like that, and then to go the other way with the tape. And right next to, but not on that score line, is where we're putting that tape. And then I'll grab a piece of the 1/8 inch tape, slide it down the middle there. Okay, and that piece will join to there. So now with this, we want to cover it completely with the tape. So again, I'm going to go across the top and the bottom, because we're going to go right to the edge there. And then we'll do the vertical coverage. So I'll just speed that up while I do this. Okay, so that's how it's going to go like that. Now, it's easier if you apply your tape to the underside of it now before you attach these to it there. Okay, so I'm going to apply tape to this entire area here, but not that 1/4 inch gusset piece. Okay, so just to that first score line there, I'm going to apply the tape. And again, I'm going to put it across the top and the bottom first, and then do the vertical. Okay, so now we're ready to join this and make it into the one piece. Okay, so I'm going to remove the tape backing from that 3/4 inch piece first. Now this is where it can get a bit tricky, and how I circumnavigate it, for want of a better word, is I just, where that score line is there, what I do is I just pinch that ever so slightly there and stretch this out and then press it down. So I'm going to do the same to that end, and in the middle I just want to try and get it so that it stretches to its maximum area. Now if you've got one of these or anything similar, it's got a rounded edge there. Look, that's dirty because I've been using it on other projects like this. It's got a nice smooth rounded edge. Okay. And then it's the best width to actually burnish your tape onto your cardstock there. I just find that's just brilliant. Really burnishes that well. Alright, so now we want to remove the other side tape backing. Again, there's our 1/4 inch gusset, and it's going to be a bit more difficult with this because it's got the tape on it and it's slippery. I'm going to stretch that out like that so it's fairly even. Okay. Yep, that's close enough. And then just really go to town and burnish that tape onto that cardstock. Okay, and that's what you have there. Now I've got to add some more tape on there. So I'm going to just make it maybe. I'm just going to go from the edge there and okay, there we go. Done. Finish that on there. Alright, there's our hinge done, except now what we need to do is we need to mitre these ends here so that they can, the pages can slip on nice and easily. So all I'm going to do is take my scissors, and you can go from the outside and mitre it down like that, or from the top of the flap to the corner, just like that. There, so you see there I've mitered that there. You can see that one's all, it's probably better that way. Sorry. There. Done the first two, but not the third one. So I'll just continue doing that. And then we're done with the hinge. Our next job is to do the cover. There we go. All done. Ready to attach to our spine. So I'll be back.